thing real fast. I am so excited about tonight. We have not done one of these training and inspirations in a while. And as Hannah and Liz and Lacey and I were kind of talking through the month, and as we ended out accountability group, and we knew going into this fall season, into leaders retreat contests, and into just kind of getting back into our routine with school starting back up, we knew we didn't want to just sit here and not offer anything. And so we thought, let's do training and inspiration. Let's tap back into building that belief of how these products are helping people all over the world, hear some stories, and then hear from people on our team of how they're seeing growth, mindset change, how they're seeing their teams growing, how they're seeing their belief being built, and walk away from tonight with really strong belief, with maybe some education on the products or what could help somebody that you hadn't even thought of because you've heard a health story that maybe you hadn't heard before. And then walk away with some tangible tips on how to help grow your business in a way that maybe you hadn't even thought of. So I am so excited to introduce two of my beautiful friends, Joya and Luther Harris. You guys know them and you love them. They are not on our team. I wish they were. Darn it. I wish that I would have known them and could have asked them to be on our team. But the very first time I think it was the first time I ever kind of met them, heard from them, was on a cruise years ago, and Luther actually spoke on stage. And I remember videoing him because I had some friends that were, and he and his wife are working the business together. And he came on and he started talking about, I think it was maybe your daughter, maybe you're talking about like your kids going off to school and like you wanting to be there as a dad and just like creating this residual income through this business with your wife to change things for your family. And it was just really beautiful because as we see, oftentimes this can feel like a female dominant business. And I think it was really cool to see a strong man get up on the stage and just talk about how he caught this vision for this business for he and his family. And I've loved so much getting to know Joya. If you don't know her, you need to get to know her. She's one of the most encouraging people I've ever met. She's real, she's authentic, she loves her spouse, she loves her kids, she loves this business. She's willing to like go and learn and ask questions. And I'm so honored to have them come, and I asked them just to kind of share their health story. If you guys do have questions, maybe pop them in the chat. Can you guys see the chat, Luther and Joya? You guys can see it, okay?
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, we're good.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll have them share for just a few minutes a little of their health story, and then we'll transition over to Carly, where she'll share a little of the things that she's learning with her business. So Luther and Joya, take it away.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna start for a couple of reasons. One, Emily, thank you for having us. Two,
Should we
uh,
introduce ourselves?
yeah, I'm Luther.
I'm Joya.
She keeps me in line. Clearly,
We're
y'all see how
from
that happened.
we're from Georgia, so it's 9 something here. Um,
And we just got our kids down, which is a feat in itself. So
don't
we're
judge it.
excited about that.
Anyway,
We we
they're
try.
little. They should have
We
been in
try.
bed a long time ago. We have two kids. They're 5 and 3. We have a daughter. She's 5, and our son is 3. So it's lots of fun over here.
Lots of fun, and they're both but they are the reason that we are doing Plexus. They are I know for me, Eden specifically, having a daughter changed everything about life for me. You have a kid and you go, okay, what am I doing to be present? That's where my head went, right? And I was a band director. So all my days were long. And I remember standing outside on a very cold and wet and rainy Friday night with wet feet, thinking about how my wife and my daughter, who was probably 6 months at the time, were at home in the warmth of of our home, and I'm like, this sucks. This is not it. Like there has to be a different way. So thankfully, the Lord has placed Plexus in our life. And we are now, instead of just trying to make a living, we are now building a life, right? But I didn't realize how much I needed Plexus for more than just that, right? So when we started the products, I was a gym rat in the gym 5, 6 days a week, getting after it, right? And I'm still in the gym all the time, but it looks very different now because then I still had acid reflux. I had IBS type symptoms. You name it, I was jacked up, and it had been jacked up since I was a older teenage boy. Grew up eating crap. Had to have a colonoscopy, endoscopy done when I was 21, which is very early. And it sucked. So don't recommend. 0 out of 10 recommend, right? But I had gut health issues, or what I didn't know were gut health issues all throughout my early 20s. Hit 32, which was 2023, and I was over it, y'all. I couldn't eat any of my favorite foods. A brother couldn't eat burgers, which was a problem. A brother couldn't eat chicken wings, which was a problem. Like none of my favorite foods would stay down, right? And I had been lactose intolerant like my whole life,
Yeah.
my whole life, right? And so it got to a point where like I was playing Russian roulette every time we went out to eat,
Pretty
and that
much.
was just not fun. And even when we did, and we did this a lot, we eat clean, and we were trying to be good, all the time because I wasn't feeling well, and even that still wasn't working. I would still have flare ups. I would still have all these issues. Sometimes I'd be doubled over having to go to the bathroom, like it was awful. And my friend Natalie she was like, "Hey, have you ever tried Plexus?" And I had tried Plexus a couple years before, but a friend of ours had introduced us to it, and I was like, "What is gut health? That's stupid. I'm just gonna take it." She sent us a full triplex, y'all, a full triplex, and I was like, "This is stupid. I'm not gonna really take this stuff. Like, why are we even entertaining it?" And she was like, "I don't want nothing to do with it, so you try it." And I tried it for 2 weeks, had great results, but then I stopped. Anybody else? Hey, anybody feel that, right? But here we are, right? Several years later, and screaming plexus from the rooftop. Why? Because all of that went away. My acid reflux went away. I had more natural energy. No more IBS type symptoms. No more belching after I ate, which my wife loved, by the way. She didn't love
Oh,
it.
it's the
I
worst.
mean, it was awful. Other things, allergies, gone. Migraines, gone. All of these things that I had no idea had to do with gut health, they just disappeared from our lives, or my life. And she saw those benefits in me. And so then she was like, "Hey, can I try the products 8 months pregnant?" And I was like, "Yeah, girl, but you got to get your own because I need
So,
mine."
yeah, I saw how the products were helping him. Like he said earlier, I wasn't interested the first time years ago. I really wasn't very interested the second time
She was not.
either. I thought it was just one of those dumb things. Like, I'm sure everybody's felt that way at some point, just some MLM. Um, and so, but he started feeling really good. And like he said, I was 8 months pregnant with our son.
It
And
had acid reflux real bad.
yeah, I had only ever dealt with acid reflux in both of my pregnancies. So I was like, man, it can't hurt. And so I was like, kind of drinking his pink drink on the side. I was kind of taking a few of
Thief.
his products. And he kept telling me to stop taking them, like, because he needed them. And so I'm like, well, we can't really afford for both of us to be doing this. So that's when the idea kind of came to, oh, we can make money like talking about this, but I'm not selling anything. Like I wasn't gonna do that.
But it was after, like, that part came after Noah was born, right? So the hospital story, she was,
Yeah.
after you have a C-section, they have all your benchmarks that you have to hit. You gotta poop, you gotta,
Yeah.
pass gas, all the things. So she was struggling coming out of surgery. And I was like, "Why don't you take your triplex? Just see what happens." And I kid y'all not, within like 2 hours of taking the triplex, it was like boom, boom, boom. I was like, "Woohoo! Yeah, girl." And so that's when we kind of knew it was real.
I
Like,
forgot. I always forget that. I need to
yeah,
tell that
like
story more.
it was like, okay, like this is for real. And so we were like, if both of us are gonna do this, we
Yeah.
have to share.
Yeah. And as I was taking it pregnant too, I was noticing the reflux was subsiding. I was able to work out like pretty
For
hardcore
38
workouts
weeks.
till I was 38 weeks pregnant. I don't know where the energy came from, but I'm like, I don't know what gut health is, but there's something to it. And so since then, since having our son, just going through all the postpartum things, and I'm not gonna say it was very like I bounced back super fast. I don't fabricate that story and say drink this pink drink and you'll bounce back in 2 months. Like that's just not how our bodies work. But it did over time lead to sustainable results. And the biggest thing was my sugar cravings went away. And I didn't realize that was so much of a problem. I thought I just had a sweet tooth and diabetes runs in my family. And so that's
No
when
more
I,
late night trips to Kroger's for Kemp's
yeah,
custard.
I would eat ice cream at like 10:30 at night just because I had to have it. And that's when I really realized the products were working, obviously after the hospital stuff. But when I didn't crave sugar for like a week, I was like, wait, I haven't had anything sweet. And then it just compounded. I started with the triplex, noticed those things, and then the reset was something that I tried like not till about 6 months later. And that's when I really felt like, okay, I can like lose this baby weight, but still feel like myself and do it sustainably and not rush through it. But like, I haven't gained any of that weight back in 3 years. So, um, among so many other things. So that's a snippet of our story. I feel
Yeah.
like it changes every few months just because there's something else that we notice that we're like, oh, we don't deal with that anymore. But
Yeah, but so at upon all of that, right, we knew we had to share. Joya, both of us were educators. So, like I said, I was a band director. She was an elementary music teacher. And as we were starting Plexus, y'all, she quit, and I was like, "Quit, girl. Do you, boo boo? That's fine. We'll make it happen." And then I went to work in corporate America. But then that actually opened the door for us to build this opportunity together, which we love so much because it has totally provided so much margin for us to actually do the things that we desire to do with our children. And we're so thankful for that. So that's just a little snippet of our business story, too.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so a few quick questions. So, Luther, you also started on the triplex.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
All right, with the triplex first.
How do you like to start people who have acid reflux or IBS? And I know there are different types of IBS,
Yeah.
but with whatever type of IBS you had, like how do you like to start people on the triplex who
So I think the for me it's the slow start with the slim, right? Especially if it's IBSD. I think slim is important for like a week with one probio for a while. And then work your way into one bio cleanse because that's going to be the thing. I'd like to give people a little bit of space for their gut to heal first. If it's IBSD, we actually
you said D.
no, sorry, if it's IBS-C, we try to load dose on the BioCleanse side with the Slim. So start with Slim and BioCleanse. And so try to get their body moving and producing so that they can start to actually move. And we have seen some success, a lot of success actually with people IBS-C and like load dosing the BioCleanse with the Slim.
great. And then you mentioned migraines. What do you attribute seeing relief in that with
Oh,
product wise?
so I attribute that to the triplex primarily. I think if when you really like dig into migraines and what's happening in the body, it's either a hormonal imbalance or a like neuromuscular imbalance. And mine was more neuromuscular. I had a shoulder injury that would kind of cause these migraines, and I would notice different things like when I had a ton of tension and all of those things, just my body being in a place of balance. I've watched those go away. We have a girl on our team named Liz, who has also seen her migraines greatly diminish with just the triplex. And so same kind of deal there.
Is there a particular slim formula that you recommend?
MBA.
Okay, that's what I was gonna
I
say.
recommend everyone start anyone with MBA, even if they're looking for weight loss. And here's why. The acromantia the increase in acromantia that comes with MBA is the metabolic bacteria that's going to help with kickstart their weight loss. And it's going to help with reducing those cravings for those things that aren't helping them, right? And so it still triggers GLP-1, just not as much, but it's going to put the body in a place where it can actually better receive everything. So I do recommend starting everyone with MBA, and then if they want to shift to hunger control later, um, that's been our method.
Yeah, and I
Stole
think with
that from Cheryl
in
Muller, who's a diamond, by the way.
do what?
I stole that from Cheryl Muller. who's a diamond on the
Yeah,
leaders
that's
team.
great. That's
And
great. Well,
so,
I would say the same thing. And I think with the Slim MBA, if you're new here, it's the Slim XOX. It's the opposite of the hunger control. That one also has the alpha lipoic acid in it, which my understanding is that also helps target inflammation. So that could also be a part of the migraine relief as well.
yep,
Does anybody else have any specific questions for the Harris cute couple that we have here?
we are an open book, so don't be afraid. We don't bite.
Like I said, I videoed your talk and I think I only got like 3 minutes of it, but I think it was maybe your testimonial, right? I think it was on the cruise. I think it was your testimonial. So it was short, but I think I even have it on my YouTube because it was so impactful. And so I'll send it over to our group so you guys can listen and hear a little more. Because again, he was talking more about the business, which is super inspiring. And I'm so happy for you guys that you guys were able to step away. Joya, for you to step away from education so you could be with your kids, and Luther, you stepping away to go do something else that can also help provide for your family, doing the corporate stuff and growing your network, to continue to build your business. Oh, Lauren, go ahead.
Hi there, my name is Lauren, and my question is, what advice do you have for people who the husband and wife are both interested in starting? Um, what would you give a brand new couple? Like, what would you tell them?
Um, I like to encourage couples that it's way more like having a built-in accountability partner
Mhm.
makes this so much more fun. And when you start to see your spouse light up because they're feeling better and they're having more energy and like all of those things, like there are things like just in our marriage that have like gotten better just because we both feel better, right? And so I like to encourage couples, hey, like do this together, right? The best gift that you can give your family, the best gift that you can give your kids is a healthy you, right? And so I like to tell people that, right? That like if you go out, I tell dads all the time, if you go out and you're beating down the walls, you come home, you got nothing left to give because you're on the couch passed out because you're tired, like that's not helping your family, right? And so it's not good enough to just be a provider. You also have to be present, right? And so my message to dads especially is presence over provision, and parents is presence over provision, right? It doesn't matter what you do outside of the home if you come home and have nothing to give.
And I
So
think too, Luther's really good at this. I'm still working on it, but just kind of vision casting with this couple. Why are they at this place in the first place?
so
For
good.
them to both want to start something new means that clearly they're needing something. They may not be feeling like they're showing up as their best selves for,
Yes.
I don't know if they have kids or not, but maybe if they don't have kids, for each other or at work or with friends or whatever. So really just helping them get to the bottom of that, and then helping them to see like, hey, imagine like not one of you doing this, but both of you, and like
Mm-hmm.
rising together essentially. And just what, obviously sharing your story. We'd love to connect with them if you want to connect them with us too. Um, so yeah, that's
They
something
were
I
going
would.
to try to be here tonight, but they couldn't. So, and I'd love to show them the recording. What other advice do you have? That's great for like, I love that. Health wise, you got your partner. What about as far as like the business? It's like, okay, they're both interested. What do you give advice for when starting out on this together?
On the business together, I think it goes back to what Joya just said. I think vision casting for what they see for their family and really like hounding on, hey, what is it that you want for your family? And they may say something like, well, we want to be able to travel. We want to be able to provide for, pay for our kids' sporting events or like whatever it may be. But casting a vision that is inclusive of their health and their financial goals, right? And really tapping into those pain points to say, hey, don't let your husband go win by himself, or don't let your wife go in by herself. Like get behind each other and actually like prop each other up and like help, like just go help people together. And talk about having a vision for like raise your hand if you want to be surrounded by couples that are unhealthy and drag you down. Raise your hand. Anybody? Nobody? Nobody on this call? Okay,
Boom.
cool. That sounds like a bad idea, right? And so like you want to be surrounded by couples. As a couple, you want to be surrounded by couples that are actually thriving in life, right? And so when you see a couple struggling, right? Like I think this is a prime opportunity for us to say, "Hey, like we're thriving. I tell people all the time, I'm just here to help you. Like I'm just here to help you thrive. I'm here. I don't want you to just survive. I want to be surrounded by healthy people, right? And give them the opportunity to opt in. But I think getting buy-in for people is making it more about them and what they desire and what they see in life, versus what trying to come off as, well, I just want to help you get healthy because then it seems like it's about me making money. Um, but yeah, we're here to help people thrive.
And that foundation of belief and vision, I think, is what is going to really grow your people, Lauren, and anyone else who's wanting to come do this business. And then the tactical stuff that comes out of you having this vision. Like you're willing now to go and stretch your comfort zone. Now you two can work together on like, okay, do we build under just one person? Do we both go out and do this? Like you can work on all that stuff later, but I do think that that vision of what this can be and you guys being on the same page, that's that's like the goal that you need to have for them to start strong.
That's vital. Kyle Rainey and I actually talk about that, Emily.
Yeah.
Was being on the same page and being
Yeah.
aligned is so important in this business, right? We actually had a couple come to convention this year, and she came and he was super skeptical. But in the car on the ride home, he's like, "Babe, what can I help you do to make this happen?" Right? And so sometimes it just takes people seeing something bigger and being exposed to something bigger in order for them to see what's actually possible. Especially men, because we tend to be skeptical. I'm Joya would say I'm a unicorn because I'm like, where's the opportunity? Let me go get it. Right? I just give me a piece. Like
I'm the
uh,
skeptical one.
yeah, she was the skeptical one. But generally it is making sure that husbands are in alignment, or couples are in alignment, and wives like just saying, hey, or when like ladies, tell your husband your vision for your family,
Mm.
right? Like share it. Hey, I would love to help you retire one day. I can tell you as a man, if Joya ever came and said that to me, I would melt in my chair. Now, we are in alignment with this, right? We understand where we're going. But if you went to your husband's like, hey, I'm doing this to help our family and provide and to take the burden off of you as to provide, like all of these things, right? Like that means so much, like so much to us as husbands. Um,
Yeah, we have someone on our team, Marie. She just jumped on,
yeah,
but that's one of her big whys for her husband. And she always is very open about that.
which
So
we know means a lot to him.
yeah,
So
Well,
we get
this is
off today,
all.
but this has been great. Sorry, Emily.
No, this is great. And I think that this goes hand in hand with what Carly is about to start talking about too. But I think that this is really encouraging because I know every single person here on this call on our team has great vision for where this could be. And maybe they're at a place where they felt stuck, or maybe they're at a place where they're like, okay, let's go. I am ready. This is really encouraging, just especially as that reminder of like, go think through what this could be for you and your family, or you and your people, and go communicate that with your spouse or your significant other. Like, be on the same page. That is so, so very, very vitally important. So thank you guys. You guys, if you would like, we'd love for you to stay on because Carly is amazing and she's got some really great content. She's getting nervous. Don't hold your mouth. You're amazing. She shared with me today what she's talking about, and I got chills. I was like, this is gold. This is going to be so good. No pressure. No pressure. It's going to be amazing. So let's go and transition over to Carly as she kind of shares through some things that she's been learning and experiencing.
Okay, thanks, Emily. Um, well, now I have something to actually live up to. Um, okay. So, the first thing I just want to share is I'm going to be really vulnerable and really honest with you all because this business is about being real with each other. And I shared with Emily that I was going to share with everyone that last month I did not re-rank gold for my first time in over 2 years. And what was surprising though is that I wasn't like super upset about it because I know that these ebbs and flows happen in our business. And if everyone can turn your cameras on, because I want to see everyone, raise your hand if you have fallen back in points ever. Everybody, like, look at everyone raising their hands. It is normal. What the thing you have to do next, though, is not let that defeat you because your points don't define you. And I love Christina Williams, and I think, she's definitely a no BS, like doesn't beat around the bush type of trainer leader. And that speaks to me. And one thing that she said in the gold convention, um, breakout training for golds was, um, as part of beating your how to beat your limiting mindset, she said, you are exactly where you deserve to be in your business. So if your points are falling or you're not growing, I want you to take that honest look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Are you really doing the work to grow? And for me, was I doing the work in May and June, or maybe even in April, to grow by now? And I had some stuff go on in my life, yes, but I wasn't really back into full swing and doing what I need to do until early July. And as of the 14th of August, so I ended July with 88 points. And as of the 14th of August, I have 94 points. And I still have the rest of this month left. And I have several conversations and follow-ups that I'm in. And I want to say that I had 49 outside leg points in July, and I have 66 right now. So I say all this because the conversations that you're having, the reach outs that you're doing, the meat and potatoes of this business is really important. It's also really important to keep your sign open. Be posting, be talking to your audience, not post and pray, but be filling that funnel and keeping your network open. So that way, if you have something happen like I did and you take a step back for a little bit, you can come back to it and come back to a warm market, that you can grow from. Um, and so I think it's just so important to, when you're in a season of, um, the low of this business that you're in, is to just not let it defeat you and not let it make you quit. Because as you saw, every leader on this team has been in that same position. Um, I think sometimes we struggle with, what do we post about? Maybe if we've not been posting for a while. And I think that one thing that I really try to do is, whenever I have an idea come to my head, sometimes I think you're like, oh, I have to post right now. I just keep a note section on your phone of ideas and just write them down in that moment, and you can come back to it later. Um, but a long time ago, I did a training, a Brooke Hemingway training, and she really talks about, you have to know who you are first, and I think we've all heard this before, but you're also best positioned to help who you once were. And sometimes like that is going to repel some people, and that's okay. We can't be trying to keep every single person following us, because then we are not being authentic to who we are. So one thing that she talked about doing, was doing this, like making an umbrella. Can anybody see that? um, and the umbrella is like overall, like who you feel like you are. You can put a quote in it. Mine says, life isn't what you're given, it's what you make of it. And so don't settle. Um, and then I just lost my spot. The strands are like things that you can talk about. So for me, I I like to talk about um like getting to the gym. My story is someone who has struggled with that. My story is someone who makes up all the excuses, um, or puts other people first and not my own self. And so I will post about like overcoming those fears or overcoming that limited belief that you don't have time. How do I make time? I'm a mom too, and I have two kids and a husband that works full time. So I kind of speak to that, or like what are you learning with personal growth? For me, I also like to post about what I do in the community with my kids, things that are fun or cheap, or traveling with kids, traveling without kids, relationships, mental health, overcoming grief, things like that. Those are kind of what my strands are. So I encourage all of you to sit down with yourself and make this umbrella and sit down with what are those broad topics that you can post about. Um, you know, that's something that's gonna the importance, and then also, plexus too. So plexus is in with health. Because that's going to be things that are going to help keep your neon sign open. Um, and hold on, one more thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. She she talked about like writing down like who you are. So I wrote down I am a mother of two, a friend, an outdoor enthusiast, a reader. So write down like a bunch of things that you are, and that can help you to make posts from those things. Um, and that um, you're always building two things simultaneously. Your brand, you are the brand, and then your business. You're building your business for today and your business for the future. So, our business of tomorrow. And then people are looking to connect. Just a reminder that we always hear about, but people are looking to connect with a human and not a product. So I know that for myself, sometimes it's like, oh, I've shared my story about like my plexus testimony. Certainly everyone who follows me has seen it. Not true. Or they haven't seen it enough. So worst case, like if you feel like I don't know what to post today, post your story. That is the most authentic thing you can do for your brand, for your followers, for your authenticity is post how it's helping you today. Just go back to that framework that we used last week of like where you were and where you are now. Like that is always going to be authentic and connect with people. Um, and that um, uh, just posting is going to eventually equal sales because it will keep your market primed and warm. But the where that happens is in your relationship. So just going back to everything we've trained on this summer, building community, building connections, building that trust. And when you do all that, and I promise when you do all that and you spend time doing that, the seeds will be planted and your business will move. Because every time I do that, my business moves. So this is a great opportunity right now. If you haven't been in this season of investing in your business on the back end, to start now, and you will be planting yourself in momentum for the Leaders Retreat contest. And that's all I have.
So good, Carly. So, and you guys be thinking about questions. I know a lot of people are asking if you wouldn't mind taking a picture of the umbrella illustration and just sending it. We can put it in our chat, and then Luther and Joya, I can send it over to you guys too. Um, Carly, when you say like connecting with people, I know you know this or you mean this, but just to make it clear, it's not like the same four people you've been connecting with for 13 years. It's like you've got to be connecting with a bunch of different people. So Carly, how would you say? Because you are very authentic, you're very real, and that's what I love about our team. Like I look at our team and I just want to hug every single one of you through this screen because I know all of us just love people deeply and we are very real and we really care about relationships and connection. So, Carly, can you give just a quick example of what you are talking about when you're connecting with people?
Um, I feel like I tried to do this before Eric's talk, but when he just talked about like just send messages to people and not with the, he said every conversation is business, but to me, there's so many times that I would just scroll by, like even if I was like, oh, that dress is cute. It's like when you're in the store and you see somebody wearing a cute dress, just tell them, and the same thing, like when you're in your feed or in your stories, say, you know what, your kids are so cute, or where did you get that? Or just start conversations because eventually maybe it will lead to plexus, but if anything, you're gonna maybe make their day or just give somebody who's needs some support somebody to talk to.
So good. And I just want to commend you for one, being vulnerable and honest with where you were and where you are. But I want to commend you on like, there was no shame in that. Like, you owned it. You said it is what it is. And then instead of riding that emotional roller coaster, and feeling sorry for yourself or feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to get back up there or feeling super defeated. You just like stepped up with maturity and you said, okay, I'm just going to go love on people. Like you weren't a victim. And I love that so much because I think, like you said at the beginning, this business, there are ebbs and flows, but our points do not define our worth. Like, and we're just gonna get here, but like we are children of God, like that's where our worth is. Our points are not that. But I was listening to a John Maxwell, I'm listening through his book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And one of the things that he said today was, and this was kind of a mic drop, he said, if you don't try to create the future you want, you must endure the future you get. I'm going to say that one more time because that was a really like gave me chills. If you don't try to create the future you want, you must endure the future you get. And so I just want everyone to hear Carly and to hear Luther and Joya and just walk away from here feeling empowered and emboldened and confident in yourself and confident in your motives and who you are and the way that God has made you. And you go love people, you go connect with people. And like Carly said, even if they never join Plexus, like, yes, that would be wonderful. We'd love for people to come and join your team and thrive on the products and thrive in the business and go and change things for the families. Of course, we'd love that. Just like Luther said, like we want this for other people. But even if they never do, us just going and loving on them is changing people's lives, like seeing people, caring for people, loving people. Like I can get behind that a million times, and I hope that you guys can too. And so that is part of our job, and this is something that we've been talking about all of August of, and since Eric Worre's challenge of connecting with 100 people in that 1 week after his first module that he had, I guess in July, I can't remember, July, I guess. But that's something we've been doing in August of just going and connecting. And we have a number of like, try to connect with 50 people. And the only reason we have that number is just to give people kind of a, kind of a goal. So they're not just saying, okay, I've connected with people and it's 2 people, but they're like connecting with lots of people and refilling their funnel and having fun again, seeing people. I'm going to end us with this unless anybody has any question for Carly. Or Carly, go ahead.
I just wanted to say too, a big purpose behind connecting with people you haven't been talking to for the last 13 years is it helps them see your content as well. So you could have all these other followers and they maybe have never ever seen you post anything because you've just been buried in the same 20 people you've been talking to. So that's also why it's really important to do that. And you can just the more conversations you engage with, the more variety of people you're going to see in your feed too.
Okay, I'm going to end it with this quote. And you guys, I'm walking up my huge hill, like huffing and puffing, listening to this in my earbud. earbud, whatever it's called. And I'm doing like voice to text, and my phone never understands what I say. So it might not be like to the T quote, but I tried really hard. And I'm also laughing because I'm pretty sure this is not this is not his name, but this is what my note says. The author's name is Wallace D. Waddles. I don't think that's actually his name. I will figure out what his actual name is, but it does say Wallace D. Waddles. Anyways, I hope that this quote touches your soul the way it did to me, Anya, the way it did to me when I listened to it earlier today. But whoever this dude is, this is an author, and he says, do not wait for a change of environment before you act. He says, to cause a change environment through action. You can act upon your present environment so as to cause yourself to be transferred to a better environment. So basically, like, don't wait for something to act. Go and act to create a change, is what he's basically saying. He says, growth always comes by taking action. Did you hear that? Because we all want to grow. Growth always comes by taking action. And taking action almost always comes with criticism. Move forward anyway. To reach your potential, you must do not only what others believe you cannot do, but even what you believe you cannot do. So go and act to change your circumstances, to change your environment. You've got to act. In order to grow, you've got to act, but also acknowledge there might be some criticism. There might be some pushback. There might be some Luthers and Joyas who, after 2 weeks, say, I don't want to do this stuff. This is MLM. But then they come back years later with their lives totally changed and on fire. You go and create that change in your environment. Thank you guys so very much for being on. Luther and Joya, thank you for taking time. I know it's so late where you are. Thank you for taking time and sharing your story. Carly, thank you for sharing everything that you shared and just what you have been learning. And I really respect you. And you are a leader. The way that you are showing up to your business, I can't look at you because I'm afraid I might cry because I know you cry too. But the way that you stop, the way that you are just owning it, and you're not coming up with excuses, and you have that maturity of the ebbs and flows, but this matters, and I'm going to show up because it matters. You guys are amazing. Oh, see, waddles. I wasn't too far off. Thank you for looking, Kanya. I wasn't too far off, but I do prefer waddles. Okay. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the night. Lauren, I'll get this over to you so you can send it to your people if they want to watch. Thank you guys for being on. Love you all. We'll see you soon. Bye.